This is for Capricorn and Cancer. If you have either one of these placements, this reading's for you. My name is Lisi, the High Priestess. You can press like, subscribe, notification. I like to tell stories. They're not meant to really resonate with anyone. It's more of telling the story. Can, maybe not, depending. Because I'll be reading a lot into new movies and shit. Happy birthday, Capricorn. And many blessings, Cancer and Capricorn, since it's your birthday. Kind of wanted to get into these ones. I have so many decks. I think I just have a hoarding collection. Well, not really, but I have a vast selection of knowledge, I would like to say. If you know, you know. Wanted to use these ones. This is the Pulp Tarot or the Zombie Tarot. Probably won't get any views. I haven't been getting any views for anything, especially on YouTube. Especially YouTube. Sure, whatever. And I also been putting a lot of things on private. I'm doubting myself, or I don't want anybody else to read it. Alright, so you might want to have something very private. You might not want someone to read this for you. You don't want somebody to talk about it. You're embarrassed about it. Someone feels embarrassed of something. It's okay. We all have something that we're all embarrassed of, right? All of us. Something that other people might not even find like strange, but to you, you're just insecure about it. I totally understand. There's certain things like the pimple I have right here. Now I have a whole bruise because I started like that. I ripped up a Q-tip. I parted it in half. And I used it as my fingers. Can you believe that? I pretty much clawed. It looked like I was a vampire sucked my neck, my chin. It was crazy. I was just watching this little clip on vampires when a vampire chose the wrong woman to turn her into a vampire, right? And they were trying to figure out their gifts. They're like, she's a little slow. She's a slow vampire. And I was cracking up because at the end, she ended up having a real powerful gift that nobody else had. But it just seemed so funny because for being a vampire, it was like the worst vampire that you can have. It was a vampire that didn't have, that had empathy. You can't be a vampire with empathy. It's kind of hard to be that person. But the vampire was so proud of her when she found out her gift, and the first person she decided to suck on was an alcoholic guy that looked like a vampire. She was like, and finally my stomach was full, and they were trying to figure out how not to be around the sun. They tried a helmet. It didn't work out at their favor. I think some vampires are pretty funny. Then there's some vampires that are pretty scary. If you've ever watched certain sitcoms where the vampires are really scary, there's vampires that are in the good side, there's vampires in the bad side, there's vampire slayers, there's I remember I used to watch this one show of this vampire, and it was fucking hilarious. Every time I would watch it, I would just crack the fuck up every time. I was like, I want to be a vampire. That's it. I'm ready. But I'm kidding. I don't want to be a vampire, but it's got to be a terrible life to live. You just got to kill everybody, and then you're left by yourself. Okay, so I get the Two of Cups and the Emperor. All right, someone's like, invite me in. Y'all know that a vampire can't come into your house unless you invite them in. There's is someone playing vampire with a kid or something like that? There's a woman that wants to come in. Look, these are all her victims. This it could be this is the Seven of Swords. There's a woman that turned into a vampire right here. Look at the dinner plate. Somebody has regular food right here, and somebody over here has a brain to eat. Someone could be coexisting with the vampire too. Like I said, this is a vampire that might be kind of goofy, funny. They're not meant to eat humans. They're gonna kill the right people, all right? Or they're gonna eat the right people. They're not gonna eat kids, good husbands. She's not gonna eat a good husband. She's gonna eat all the cheating husbands, okay? All the bad kids, all the bad kids. Look, there's all the bad kids, all the bad husbands. The Seven of Swords and the Page of Swords. Mom, can I talk to you? Also, there's this kid that wants to talk to their parents about, like, I think I see a vampire at night. Or I think that my teacher is a vampire. I think my cousin's a vampire. Someone is trying to explain to them, like, you don't see what I see. I think that the teacher's after me. It reminds me of that one movie I watched last year. What was it called? Was it Alien? Alien Neighbor, something like that, on Netflix. It's a series. And the little boy could see that it was an alien. Even though it was disguised in a human form, the child had the ability to see that it was an alien. This kid is going to their parents or something like that and is saying, like, I can see demons, or I can see vampires, or I can see something. There's something out here that I see. I see aliens at night or something like that. And then finally the father and the mother are like, oh, you see aliens? And the father and the mother are like, oh, time has finally came. We thought you were going to get your gift a lot sooner, but because someone at the age of 7 is going to receive their gifts. Somebody can come from a family of vampire slayers. Look, that's when they were a kid. They were scared. Now, when they started to learn more knowledge on it as they grew to their 10-year-old age right there. And then when they're full adult, they're like already a professional slayer. Because look, it started with a small hatchet, and now he got a huge hatchet and a rifle. Everything is like exactly how they have it on the movies. Blessed, silver bullets. Someone also has knowledge on how to kill every, or unalive every type of species. And when I'm speaking species, this could be like FBI shit, like the truth is out there, like the aliens exist, and we come from a family of CIA agents or something like that. And the child is more innocent and intellectual than the parents were when they were their age. Like at their age, at this tender age, they were already doing some grown people killing type of stuff. And I'm speaking as in vampires, aliens, and stuff like that. And this person didn't start maybe until their teens, their late teens. It didn't start unraveling until 7. They were a lot younger. Somebody's parents were a lot younger when they found out the truth. This also reminds me of the TikTok that I watched about a family that they go in an RV and they go from place to place, and when they find wonders in the street, people who are walking the streets, they pick them up, they chop up their body, and they serve it as that's what they eat for meat. And if that ain't vampire-ish, I don't know what vampire-ish is. I also got to see another TikTok where there was this man, and there was her husband introduced. Okay, there was this. It was a neighbor, a new neighbor, and they were coming over to introduce themselves. Back in the day, maybe not too much today, but when a new neighbor will go in, move in, people will go over there and introduce themselves. So they were doing that, and this young woman went with her husband. The husband was the one to meet them first. And when she came across this man, this is a man that unalived like a whole town, and she was there. She got to see him unalive her whole family, and she just started screaming all berserk. You killed, call 911. She was acting berserk. And this motherfucker came out with that gun and just shot everybody up, and was like, damn it, I had a perfect record, and now look what you made me do. And he was going insane. And I was reading what was under the comments, and people were saying like, damn, you couldn't have kept it low-key, you couldn't have like just escaped, you couldn't have just tried to call the cops first before you started acting crazy. And I was thinking to myself, what do you do if you're already terrified of a person like that? And at the moment that you see anyone or anything that reminds you of that certain individual, you think that a person's not going to act traumatized? I don't think there's any correct way of expressing your rage. Of course, many people would say, I would have, took it easy. I would have left out to the side and I would have called the cops. Other people would have said, I would have just unalived them as soon as I could or something. Everybody says different things, but we don't know. We don't know unless you're put in that place. I'm telling you, a lot of things would define your true character and the heat of the moment on how you react to certain circumstances that most people will fail at. And I know I'm getting into some scary shit. Like I said, we could be watching a brand new movie. We could be watching Stranger Things. We could be watching the reel on TikTok, and it actually makes you reflect on your real life. Now, I want you to know that while we're here making up shit and talking about stuff that might be in movies and stuff, I want you to know that there's a lot of documentaries that this shit is true. This shit is fucking true. I'm going to tell you something. In my life, I have ran across motherfuckers that are cool. Not by choice. What odds are that we are at the same location at the same time? And in my lifetime, I've had to play it cool with certain people because they're ticking. You just can't get up and leave him. You can't just get up and scream in front of everyone. You got to be smart about how you move. And if this is a movie, this is someone that is, at a young age, somebody realized who somebody was, who their parents were. They could be CIA. Also, this could be in a farm where aliens come by and visit often. I would say an alien breed, but every time I mention their name, I don't even deal with that. But I'm over here laughing and shit because I think it's funny. But how you think I'm going to react if I see that little bald-headed alien at my window? How are you going to react if you saw that bald-headed alien at the window? Everybody reacts differently. For some people, it's a chance to pull out the gap and see what's out there. Won't God do it? Won't God do it? No, but this also could be military. When you're sent out to protect a certain family or something like that, protective custody. It's not always an alien. People are involved with real mobsters out here, real gangsters. And so someone's going to have to teach someone at a very young age that you got to be careful with the people you surround with. Just like I was watching today, a person was saying, now that I love you and we're together and shit, now you can't do what you used to do. We will move in secrecy. We will move privately. You can't just eat anybody's food. Be careful on who you touch. Wear gloves when you're around certain people. And I feel like this is a high level of security. Make sure you learn how to use your weapons accordingly. And you do have a mentor that will teach you how to do everything as you should. This is not a fucking game, whether it's witchcraft, whether it's in the church and you're fighting demons, whether you're really dealing with real vampires, because I heard up in Alaska, vampires roam a lot right there, and them little bald-headed aliens. And there's certain parts all over the world where they deal with unknown paranormal activities. And for some people, they're not ready for that shit. And for some people, all my life, all I've ever done was fight. So why would I be scared now? I'm going to do what I prepared myself at a very young age to do, is fight. And I'm going to leave.